Hi, everybody. NC Beer Explorer here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Once again, we're here at NoDa Brewing with Chad Henderson, the head brewer and co-owner of NoDa. How are you doing today,
perfect.
Chad?
Thank you. First time work. That rarely happens. Most of the people get the reverse or whatever. So yeah, I'm doing really good. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, very good.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. Well, we're very excited to be at NoDa. We are big fans of your beers.
Thank you very much.
And we've been hearing about them for a long time, so we're excited to be here. Tell us, since you were one of the first brewers, I guess the second craft brewer in Charlotte?
We're the second one that's still operating. There was kind of like a pre-modern swell that happened before it really kind of took on. But yeah, we're the second longest operating one. We'll be 14 years old in October of this year.
Okay, and 14 years, that's a while. What is, I know a lot has changed, but what are some of the biggest changes in your customer preferences and therefore the beers that you're making?
I think it depends on the segments of time that we were looking at. The first challenge that we had when we opened up was just educating people what different sorts of craft beer was. And I can't tell you how many times people came in and just wanted beer flavored beer. Yeah. And now we actually see friends of ours like Divine Barrel have a beer called beer flavored beer. And so it's almost done as a tongue-in-cheek reference now. Yeah. But for a long time, it was the things that we would just see as run-of-the-mill beer was extremely unique and weird and took a lot of getting used to for the community. And so the community really rallied up behind us. I think there was a large portion of people here that had come from areas that had really established beer communities from other states and whatnot, and they were ready to see diversity in beer. We had a pretty stagnant type of beer community here for a long time, and so they were excited to see a bunch of different diverse flavors and flavors. We've always kind of said we were very West Coast inspired, but I think that just means that we weren't afraid to throw an extra handful of hops and stuff. Right. And then as time has gone on, it was also trying to become experimental. And then the biggest immediate challenge we had was once we knew what people were liking and buying was to make sure that was as consistent and quality assured as possible. So right away in the first couple of years, we've put a lot of our eggs in the basket for quality assurance. And now I think as time has gone on, we have a really good idea of like how we know how to keep quality good and keep also the experimental stuff fun. Is trying to see what the industry is trying to do. So we're trying to diversify our lineup. We're adding things like THC CBD beverages. We're adding non-alcoholic, non-calorie beverages with like our hop water. In general, I think the ABV of everything is going a lot lower. You're not seeing a huge clamoring for barley wines and imperial IPAs and things like that. So you have to listen to the market. And as much as I like to be diverse, the reality of it is the people in the community pay the bills. And as much as I really love to be creative, and I have the platform with a pilot system on top of our 60 barrel system to be creative and make small batches, the reality of it is we are a business first and foremost. And the most important thing to me is that our employees get paid and they're getting taken care of. So I want to listen to the people first and foremost.
Yeah. So be responsive to the customer.
Yeah, you got to be flexible. Yeah. And every couple of years there's a new trend that comes out. When hazies came out, I was like, this is just going to blow over. There's no way this is going to take on. And we were late to that bus, to be honest. And I realized it, and I put a lot of effort and a lot of research and listened to a lot of people that are way smarter than me. And actually, one of my favorite beers that we make is actually our principal hazy IPA that we do called Radio Haze. And I was like, I'm not going to let that happen again. If there's a new trend that's going to come out, I'm going to at least give it a try. It may not fit, it may not run here or in our market in general, but we have a pretty wide market, and Charlotte has its own little pocket, but we're in all of North Carolina, all of South Carolina, and parts of Georgia. So, certain areas will tell you if something works or not, and you just really have to, listen to them and see, if the creative juices are going to stick with everybody or not. But you really have to listen and be flexible, because, if something doesn't work, then you got to take it off the line, or you got to change it.
Right. So what do you think, what's coming down the line? What's next?
So right now we're looking at actually doing a couple lighter versions of established beers, maybe some lower calorie stuff. I don't want to make the announcement just yet on what it is, but that's definitely something that's a focus. We also are really doubling down on our Happy Bird, which is our THC and CBD beverage. We have 4 really awesome flavors with that right now. With basically either 10 milligrams of THC and 10 milligrams of CBD, or 5 milligrams of THC and 10 milligrams of CBD. So relatively approachable, but that whole avenue is so new, and that product's only been released since March of this year. So it's still kind of rolling out. But it's a whole separate brand, but we do produce it. It is under our umbrella. We make it here in house. But we obviously, it's not a beer, it's 0 calorie and whatnot. But that push is really taking a lot of our focus. Right. And then again, trying to listen to the market of being a little more health conscious, a little bit lower calorie, and then also just trying to squeeze every bit of efficiency that we have out. Because as we grow, we want to make sure that the product stays solid on the shelf, but also that we're getting the most bang out of the buck for every time we fill a fermenter and then empty it out.
Yeah. Well, good. Once again, we're here today with Chad Henderson, the master brewer and co-owner of NoDa Brewing here in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's all for today. See ya.
Cheers.